There comes a moment in every serious life when you must quietly ask yourself a difficult question. Am I truly trying to win, or am I simply hoping things will improve? Because hope by itself has never built a remarkable future. Winning begins the day you stop negotiating with the habits that are holding you back. Most people say they want success, yet their daily behavior tells a different story. They protect distractions. They justify delays. They tolerate standards that are far below their potential, and then they wonder why progress feels slow. Understand this clearly: success is not blocked by complexity. It is blocked by contradiction. You cannot say you want an exceptional life while defending ordinary discipline. If you are serious about winning, something must change, and that something is rarely outside of you. It is found in the quiet decisions no one else sees. The hour you waste, the promise you postpone, the effort you almost give. Winning is not reserved for the most talented. It is claimed by those who remove what weakens them. So before we go any further, consider this with honesty. What are you still allowing in your life that a serious person would have already eliminated? If you are serious about winning, you must stop waiting to feel ready. Readiness is one of the most dangerous illusions ever accepted by the human mind. People wait for confidence. They wait for clarity. They wait for the perfect moment when doubt disappears. But that moment rarely comes, because confidence is not what you gain before you act. It is what grows after you act. Look closely at those who move ahead in life. They are not fearless. They are not always certain. Many times they step forward while carrying hesitation. What separates them is simple. They do not consult their mood when a decision must be made. Meanwhile, most people remain parked at the starting line of their own potential engines running, but never shifting into motion. They overthink. They analyze. They prepare endlessly. Preparation feels productive, but often it is just sophisticated procrastination. And days have a quiet way of turning into years when action is postponed. So here is a standard worth adopting. Do not ask, do I feel ready? Ask instead, is this direction right? If the direction is right, move. You will adjust along the way. You will grow stronger along the way. You will become more capable than you imagined, but only once movement begins. Remember, winners are not those who waited for perfect conditions. They are the ones who decided that progress mattered more than comfort. If you are serious about winning, stop protecting your comfort. Comfort is quiet, pleasant, deceptively safe. It asks very little from you. And that is exactly why it can cost you so much. Nothing extraordinary has ever been built inside a life designed around ease. Growth requires friction. Discipline requires resistance. Progress requires a willingness to step where it feels unfamiliar. Yet, many people structure their entire days to avoid discomfort. They choose what is easy to start, easy to finish, easy to explain. And slowly, without noticing, they build a life that never stretches them. Understand this: every time you choose comfort over growth, you are casting a vote for a smaller future. Not immediately, not dramatically, but inevitably. The serious individual begins to see discomfort differently. Instead of interpreting it as a warning, they learn to recognize it as a signal that they are expanding, a signal that they are leaving the crowded space called average. Ask yourself quietly, when was the last time I did something that demanded more from me than I was used to giving? Because winning is not about doing what feels natural. It is about training yourself to act beyond what feels convenient until higher standards become your new normal. That if you are serious about winning, stop explaining your lack of progress. Explanations are comforting. They protect the ego. They make delays sound reasonable. But explanations have never moved a life forward. It is very easy to point outward, to blame timing, circumstances, difficult people, limited opportunities. And while challenges are real, the habit of explanation quietly removes your power. The moment you accept full responsibility, something remarkable happens. You stop waiting to be rescued. You stop hoping conditions will rearrange themselves. You begin asking a far more productive question: what can I do next? Winners do not waste energy building stories around why something is hard. They invest that energy into responding. Responsibility is not a burden. It is leverage. Because when you own the outcome, you also claim the ability to influence it. Notice the shift. Average thinking says, this is happening to me. Serious thinking says, this is mine to improve. One creates helplessness. The other creates momentum. So be careful not to confuse understanding your obstacles with surrendering to them. You may not control every circumstance, but you always control your effort, your standards, and your willingness to continue. And very often, that is more than enough to change the direction of a life. If you are serious about winning, stop underestimating the power of your daily standards. Your life rarely rises to the level of your hopes, but it almost always falls to the level of your standards. Standards are the invisible lines you refuse to cross, the minimum effort you accept, the quality you demand from yourself, the way you use your time when no one is watching. Many people lower these lines without realizing it. Just this once, just for today, just until things calm down. But every lowered standard sends a quiet message to your identity. This is acceptable. And soon, what was once an exception becomes your normal. The serious individual understands something most overlook. Discipline is not about intensity. It is about consistency. You do not have to be extreme. You simply have to be non-negotiable. Non-negotiable about showing up. Non-negotiable about finishing what you begin. Non-negotiable about becoming someone you can respect. Because self-respect is built through evidence. The evidence of promises kept. Raise your standards, and you may feel the stretch at first. That is natural. Growth always asks for a little more before it gives a little more. But over time, higher standards simplify your life. Decisions become clearer. Distractions lose their appeal. Momentum begins to feel natural. And one day you will look back and realize winning did not arrive suddenly. It arrived the moment you decided that average was no longer acceptable. Now, if you are serious about winning, stop living as if there is unlimited time. Time is the one resource that never negotiates, never pauses, never returns once spent. Yet many treat it casually, as though tomorrow is guaranteed, as though opportunity will patiently wait. But winning belongs to those who develop an early respect for the clock. Not fear, not panic, but respect. They understand that a year from now is being shaped by how this week is lived and how this day is used. Consider how quietly time moves. There are no alarms when a wasted month slips by. No warnings when a productive season could have been claimed but wasn't. Life simply keeps advancing. And one day a person looks back and wonders where it all went. The serious individual refuses to let that question become personal. They begin to treat mornings with intention, hours with care, even small pockets of time with purpose. Not because they are obsessed with productivity, but because they are committed to building a life they will not need to regret. Remember this powerful truth. You do not find time, you allocate it. You decide what deserves a place in your day. And by extension, what deserves a place in your future. So if winning truly matters to you, do not delay the disciplined life you know you are capable of living. Start now. Adjust along the way. Stay consistent when enthusiasm fades. Because the distance between an average life and an exceptional one is often created in the way a person respects their time. The question is no longer whether success is possible for you. The question is, when will you become too serious to keep wasting what cannot be replaced?